Hello everybody, we are the Geeks and Degenerates, and today we do a new all cut up, not something comic book based or I don't know, anime or animated series. This time we're doing a show about World War II. One of the from the producers of Band of Brothers and the Pacific, so it's another World War II show of our time. Another one. So
And not gonna lie, thank fucking God.
yeah, it's been a while since we've seen any World War II material from the creators like Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks.
Yeah, dude.
And we lived through two of them.
Yeah, and we've been like, if I remember correctly, like while we were like back in school,
Yeah.
like Band of Brothers, The Pacific was like a pretty big thing for us
Yeah.
because we always loved that era.
Yeah.
And yeah,
And like, well, I started with the Pacific because, again, it came out at the right time, and I like learning about World War II, and the Pacific is the Philippines theater of war, World War II.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm in. And then later on, like this year, I started Band of Brothers. Well, last year I started Band of Brothers, and I quite like it. I don't know about your experience with these shows.
well, I watched a little bit of it. Like when it first came out, I wasn't able to watch it fully because it's on HBO, and from time to time it would be shown like either late at night or within the afternoon when we're in school, and you would only catch like some episodes, and you can't tell which episodes is which, so you can't really put which one came first, so you're kind of lost a lot of the times. But well, Pacific and the Band of Brothers I think are on Netflix, so I feel like I should give it like a good watch, just to
Yeah.
have like a good recap.
Did you finish any of them?
No, no,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So I would love to get back into it, and
Yeah.
the fact that they released like Masters of the Skies,
Yeah.
Naga, I love it. I really do.
Yeah.
Because
Me too.
one thing I noticed that the Pacific and Band of Brothers did very well is kind of telling us the bits of detail that each platoon or role a person has in the war. So for sure, we're not going to go through this chronologically.
Yeah.
I love seeing the details of like the one dude who goes at the worst seat in the plane, which is the one at the fucking bottom with the machine gun.
Yeah.
And when like the glass breaks, he's not shot, but since there's like cold air coming in, the man's just freezing up there.
Yeah.
Uh,
And like,
yeah, go on.
no, I was about to say, like, every detail of this show from the start, you're like, I miss these productions. Like, the costumes are nice, the sets are so nice. Like, you can tell, like, every time a World War II show comes out, like, in this series in particular, like, all the efforts there. And, like, I do like the detail that, like, yeah, this one has a bit more tension because, again, you're up in the sky. There's no, like, we can just sit here for a moment and rest, gather our strength. It's like you're in the sky, 30,000 feet up in the air, and what do you do when you're like, I'm tired, I want to go home? It's
Right.
like, too bad. The home is either base or down on the ground. You go to heaven right away. So, like, what do you do?
Yeah, dude, and like again, going back to the detail. Like there's that one scene where the guy's gun jams
Yeah.
and he tries to fix it. Like he takes off his glove and tries to fix it, and then he gets like freezer burn or some shit like that, or like his skin sticks
Do
to
it.
the cold metal
Yeah.
that it rips off. And I was like,
Yeah.
I didn't know that's the shit that they had to kind of deal with when they were up in the air.
Yeah. And, like, I do like how it's not too star-studded. Like, we have obviously people like Austin Butler, who is Gale, and then Barry Keegan, who is Curtis, and then Gale's best friend, John, who's played by Callum Spencer. But, like, it's not too star-studded. Unlike, just like the other Band of Brothers in the Pacific. Like, it's filled with people, like, you don't know, but, like, as the series goes on, you get attached to. And that's the whole point. Like, If I remember, the Pacific had the kid from Jurassic Park and Rami Malek for most of it,
Hmm.
and that's
Yeah,
where I knew them from. I mean, I knew the kid from Jurassic Park, but like didn't realize it was
Rami
him.
Malek.
Yeah, Rami
For me, it
Malek.
was Rami Malek, that one that stood out.
Yeah. Uh, but yeah, the plot is it's kind of like the whole what do you call that kind of cliche dialogue of like, oh, we didn't know what we were getting into. We just wanted to bring the war to the enemy's doorstep, and like we came from every state in the country to train, and like you see how hard they train to be in the Air Force, and again, you're just like, what do you do when you make mistakes? Do you
Right.
just pray to God for the best? You probably do, but like, there must be some maneuverings with like World War II aircrafts, and this is not like conventional aircrafts today. This is like, I have to figure this out now.
Yeah, it's very mechanical. Like if some shit breaks, you gotta fucking put a tool into that thing and crank it.
Yeah,
Things weren't automated back then. You kind of just had to especially like for the navigations. This guy was like, he man had like horrible air sickness,
yeah.
and he made one little mistake and got them into France.
Oh, that's what a horrible oversight that would be. It was like, oh, oh fuck, we're in the enemy space. The fuck do we do now? Fuck.
Right? And all they had to do was like the only thing that they could do was just turn.
Yeah,
Like, but they're still being shot at, and like even his captain was kind of just like, "You got to get that shit sorted, man," because he
Yeah.
almost got us killed.
yeah. And like that's the other thing that adds to the tension of like you see the anti-aircraft guns going off, and it's not like the men can be like, I want to turn back. Can we turn back? It's like you just have to
Yeah,
go forward and deal with it. And you're like, how? I don't understand. We'll never understand how they put their nerves together during that time. It's just newfound respect all the time.
but what I like about it though is that it doesn't look like they put their they don't really sort anything out. They just kind of have to like push through.
Yeah,
Like that's the majority of their like mentality. That's what I feel like. Is that they're not trying to figure a problem out. They're like, we just have to keep going that way.
yeah,
As much as we just go that way. And then you see like hopelessness in their eyes, and you're like, oh, what if we're the next ship to get shot down? And like,
yeah. And like all of these World War II shows, they don't hold back on like how bloody it can be. From like the cockpit point of view, you see people being shredded by the Luftwaffe, and you're like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck?
and like it's not even like a fair fight. It's like they say. I love the whole. I don't know if it's propaganda or anything like that, but they hype the plane, the B-17 or something
Hmm.
bomber. They hype it up as if this is a fortress. It
Yeah,
has 12 guns, and like it's supposed to represent like strength. But when you see it in battle, like this thing's getting shredded. Like,
yeah.
my God,
You're like, oh right, you're not a fighter plane. You're just dropping bombs. You don't have any that much maneuverability.
maneuverability. Yeah, and
Yeah,
then what? Like one of the bombs get hit by a bullet, and then you can't do anything. You
yeah,
just blow up.
yeah,
And then they're like, "Did you see anybody bail?" I was like, "Do you see a shoot?" I'm like, "No."
yeah. That's the yeah. You're like right again because you're not in a fighter where you can. It's a one man thing. This is like
Yeah,
what 6 people to a crew, and like you're just hoping like I hope at least one of them. Nope, nobody made it out. Huh. It
yeah,
is disheartening when Gale just like looks back and he's like, oh, we are so few. We are so few. After a
yeah.
failed mission. I like the fact that they fail to show that not
Okay.
everything's always gonna be a success. You're like, that makes sense.
Yeah, and plus it's their first flight. And I love it that Gale gets mad at Buck
Yeah.
or Bucky. He's like, "You didn't tell me it's gonna be like that on there. You flew, but
Yeah.
you didn't tell me it was like that." And we do get a scene earlier on where Bucky goes in on this like first like what do you call it? It was like a scouting mission, and it
Yeah.
was just all hell broke loose. And the commanding officer's like, "Don't you dare tell any of the newbies about this,
Yeah.
because they like you get the concept of like they will fucking book it
Yeah.
as soon as they find out what kind of situation it is up there."
Yeah, that's really sets the what at stake in this whole series of like you're just nose diving. You're just like, I hope we work. I hope we work. I hope we work, until either you
Yeah.
crash or something, a miracle happens in the sky. Again, I feel like the show's gonna play on our tensions a lot. Of like, well, shit, our engine blew out. What do we do now?
Yeah, dude. Like, I can't wait for the rest of the episodes. And what I do like is that we don't get the typical story when it came to like Band of Brothers or like the Pacific, where there's a bit of there's drama. There's drama. Like, there's no romance or funny yucks and or
Yeah.
anything like that. It's just straight up. It's educational, in my opinion.
I think that's how they learn from their lessons from these past 2 decades of Band of Brothers and the Pacific. Of like, let's not get distracted with love stories. Let's just tell a straightforward story. And this is based on the book, so like, I think they're following the book mostly.
That's good. Because, again, all I gotta say is that, reasons why me and Enzo love this, and the reason why we kind of passed social studies, is all the times these shows are very educational. They show us the real ins and outs of war, and like, yes, it's not a pretty thing, but at the same time, it's very fascinating. Knowing the fact that real human beings went through something that I can't imagine today.
Yeah, and like, just gives you a better appreciation of that, the great, what they call the greatest generation of those who fought for our freedoms that we enjoy today. Like, whether it be in the air, the sea, the land, you're just like, ah, damn, we're just lucky today that hopefully we don't have to go through this, because they fought for us to not experience it. And I do like
Yeah.
the fact that like each decade has a great World War II show. Like the 2000s had Band of Brothers, Pacific was 2010s, and then now we have
Now,
Masters
Masters
of
of
the...
the World.
Yeah.
For sure, what, like 2030, we're gonna get a boat one.
Yeah, and the naval one, that'd be sweet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really have anything to add other, like, it's like, no shit, like, with someone like Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks at the helm, like, of course, like, the sets are great, the acting is spectacular. You're like, yeah, that's obvious. I expect nothing less from those two, in terms
Yeah.
of producing and directing and like making the show possible. I don't know if you have anything to add, because this is the end of the first episode, I guess.
Yeah. No. I'm pretty sure we said our praises, and I'm very excited for the next episodes to come. How many episodes did they say?
9.
That's all right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited now.
Yeah, but yeah, we don't rate episodes until we reach this. I don't think there'll be season 2, so we'll just say the series finale. So
Yeah.
yeah, until then, we'll just keep doing all cut up Masters of the Air. But yeah, that's been our video for episode 1 of Masters of the Air. Who's your favorite cast member so far? For the audience watching, is it Austin Butler? Is it Barry Keoghan? Is it the others? Callum Spencer? Please comment down below. If you like our videos, please leave a like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. We're also on Spotify and TikTok to see our best and funniest moments. Spotify to hear us on the go. Individually, I am Jodas Voices on TikTok. Where can they find you?
You can find me at JohnJuel_ on Instagram as well.
Okay. And until the next one, we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
Ciao.